So what is next for you and your company?
So with OvaryIt, it's just getting good and it's just getting started, which I'm really excited about. So we went live this year. We've seen hundreds of patients and, working with them. I would say the next step is we are about to announce our 501c3 foundation, which would help pay not only for the services and our physicians and providers to be able to see patients, but also their contraceptive. Also working on women's based research. So, there's a lot of things that have not been touched yet as far as women's health is concerned. So we're going to dig into that, as well as basic education. There's a vast issue, not only in the state of Florida, but throughout the country about women's health issues. And so educating them, telling women how, what to look for and what might be a problem, what's not a problem, how to talk with a doctor, how to go through all of that process. It's extremely important. And so I'd like to bring that to the forefront as well. So the OvaryIt Foundation just processed all the paperwork. And so we're about to go live with that in the next week.
Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Woo, man, that was, I'm excited for this one. I got to give a quick shout out to Dixie rocking Free World out there. I know she's listening. Every once in a while, she harasses me about things. Shout out to Dixie. She'll get on me. She'll harass me about things. And she was very passionate that I speak with you too. Very passionate about it. Especially in light of everything going on. There's so much to talk about, but let's go ahead and start from the top. Everybody, we have got Mary and Lissette with OvaryIt. Everybody give them a round of applause, please. Yay. Yay. So let's talk about OvaryIt. So I got some notes here. I like to take some notes. OvaryIt is a telehealth platform created for women by women. I love that. Tell us a little bit more. Let's go with you, Mary. Tell us a little bit more about what is OvaryIt.
Yeah, so just what you said there. First of all, thank you so much for having us. Thank you,
Hey,
Dixie. And we appreciate this platform you guys have grown for yourselves and just being able to shine a light on what we're trying to do. So thank you. Um,
anytime.
Back to that question though, OvaryIt is a women's telehealth service that helps match them to the correct contraceptive that is going to work best for their body. Um, I would say most individuals have had side effects along the way and experiencing, unfavorable issues when dealing with a contraceptive, whether it be hormonal and or non-hormonal. There's always going to be like the but, right? Like there's always going to be
Right.
like, but there's something that's going to not be as enjoyable. So we try to help minimize all of those side effects. In that process, we realize that there are major gaps in our healthcare system. So we created the OvaryIt Foundation in order to try to help alleviate those gaps.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Lissette, welcome to the show yourself as well. Tell us, I guess, a little bit about how this whole entire connection with Dixie kind of started to formulate.
So, thank you so much, like Mary said, for having us. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm honored to be a part of such an amazing organization. The connection with Dixie, thank you, Dixie. Mary would be best to explain that because I don't want to minimize anything that has gone on in the background. But just the fact that we're a small team but we're a fierce team, and just the fact that we're able to speak to you, Sam, I follow you and watch your podcast, and just honored to be here. You have so many guests, and being able to be part of that stellar global family, that it's awesome. So thank you. So Mary, maybe you can better answer his question.
Yes. So we met Dixie way back when I would say January of this past year, maybe November, December timeframe. And it was right whenever we were starting the foundation. She heard about our mission through one of the stellar artists,
Wow.
Sir Cheesley. Always loved Sir
Sir
Cheesley.
Sir
And
Cheesley?
Sir
Wait,
Cheesley.
yeah,
Sir Cheesley did all this?
Yes.
Man, shout out
Sir
to Sir
Cheesley.
Cheesley, man.
Yeah, Sir Cheesley's in the background, pulling the puppet strings. So he introduced Dixie to Lissette and myself. And so uh, we all just hit it off immediately, right? I mean, it's one of those things where once you start the conversation, we never we never ended the conversation we were supposed to. We would schedule for 30 minutes and 2 hours later we're still into it trying to figure out how to solve all the world's problems.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, especially with someone like Dixie. Um,
Yes.
there's so much to unpack. I mean, I feel as if this, it's weird, right? It's like a lot of times I get guests on the show, and it just always happens to happen around major events that are going on in the world, right? And so here is, you have, for instance, this whole Maxwell case, which I was just actually tweeting about. I thought 20 years was like BS. I'm like, 20 years? I mean, come on. Like, that's a whole horrific story. And then obviously we have the issue with Roe versus Wade. Going back to Dixie, one of the things that really attracted me to this project were some of the statistics that she shared. So I'll just run through some of them. Nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the U.S. 20 people per minute. Gosh. One in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe intimate partner physical violence. Intimate partner contact sexual violence and or intimate partner stalking, which impacts such as injury, fearfulness, post-traumatic stress disorder, use of victim services, contraction of sexually transmitted diseases. 1 in 4? Like, that is, I don't think people realize how catastrophic and widespread this is. Gosh.
You're right.
All right. 72% of all murder suicides, 72% involve an intimate partner, and 94% of the victims of these murder suicides are female. Like this is
Serious.
horrible,
Yeah.
horrible information that that I'm reading here. Um, Unintended pregnancy is 3.3% higher for women who experience both sexual and physical abuse. Unfortunately, a growing trend is trying to impregnate those trying to free themselves from their. Okay, that part right there. That part right there. I couldn't sleep. Like my stomach literally was like in knots and in pains because, especially when we talk about, you talk about what's going on with Roe versus Wade and this whole entire issue. I gotta admit, very ignorant from a guy perspective. I have no idea of the different things um, that females are going through, and the trappings, the manipulation and abuse, and what it really entails. Um, Mary, when you guys started this, you guys actually started with partnering with existing rescue homes, right? If you can maybe start from that angle and give us some more of the perspective of how the foundation got created and why.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do partner with existing nonprofits such as shelters and or anti-human trafficking organizations, and we provide them free access and free services. So upon them, kind of joining our team, we send them we call them the welcome basket, some of your basic women's health needs, which includes pregnancy tests, Plan B pills, as well as feminine hygiene products, basic items that we know that these individuals are constantly going to need. And these shelters are generally highly underserved and highly underfunded to meet all of the needs that are existing. So we also supply the medical aspect of that in allowing individuals sometimes to get their first piece of bodily autonomy and choosing their own contraceptive and their own choice to get on a contraceptive. So, Plan B is not an abortion pill. It is still just like any other contraceptive, and I'm sure Lissette will go on a tirade about this later. Her being a pharmacist and all, she's extremely passionate about that topic. But we get these individuals access to care, pay for their medications, and then all of the things that they might need on their day-to-day activities. We're there for the shelter as well as all of those patients, all of those survivors, and we're not asking those horribly intimate questions that every individual kind of avoids and doesn't want to have to answer, especially in those situations. So we make sure that we are trauma trained, both physically as well as emotionally, and all of our providers are under that goodwill attitude of trying to do what's best and not asking and prying for more information than what's medically necessary.
Mm. You know, I,
And
you
kind of
know, Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was
sorry.
no, no, please jump right in. Please jump right in.
It's kind of to add even to what we do, and Sam, you were mentioning the statistics, and you read the statistics, but it's the impact that it's the truly understanding the impact of those statistics. you know um, I am a product of domestic violence in the sense my mom married young, and my father is 10 years older than her, and she was escaping her own situation back home. But I say that to say that uh, there are, while it seems like really hard to wrap your head around because of the day and age that we're living in, it's when you say that to impregnate, you were really like, oh, kind of like astounded or kind of wowed by the fact that unintended pregnancies are usually experienced from their partner, and typically there's something that happens in a marriage. If the abuser will try to impregnate the wife so that she has nowhere to go, and that kind of goes back into that mental health aspect and kind of feeling like helpless, and now you have to stay with me because now you have a child that you also have to take care of. So
Mm.
it kind of just puts everything into perspective. And I mean, yes, and with everything going on, Roe v. Wade and everything, contraception is so important, and women being able to make that decision on their own, despite what their partner is trying to impose on them, and being able to have access to that care when there are women who don't have the financial means to make those decisions. So OvaryIt Foundation comes in and provides those means for them at no cost to them. We completely 100% absorb all of that cost.
I want to take a pause real quick. That's crazy. Man, I hope you guys are listening, especially the men out there. You know, I'm guilty, right? I'm guilty, and this is why this is really like an honest, transparent conversation. You know, Cat Williams. I remember Cat was one of my favorite comedians. He has a lot of truth in what he says on stage, and I remember he was talking about the war and how they used words that people you can't really identify, you really can't understand. They use these words, insurgents and stuff like that. So when you hear on the news unintended pregnancy, what they're conveying is, you didn't mean you were willingly having sex, and you didn't want the baby. It's all on you. It's your fault. That's what they convey. Over 45% of female rape victims were raped by their intimate partner. Their intimate partner. Like, I don't think that story gets heard enough. That impact gets heard enough. Lissette, I'm curious. Mary brought up the Plan B pill, and that gets. I mean, in the politics, it gets really tossed around and trashed around a lot. Do you mind explaining to people like myself who really don't understand the role and the purpose that this plays, a little more insight on that?
I don't mind at all.
That's what I heard.
So it's really understanding, like anything. One of the big things that they teach us in pharmacy school is, so we have a doctorate in pharmacy. So we do more than just count pills, even though that's what a lot of people think that's all we do.
No, seriously,
But
I just thought y'all counted pills. I'm not gonna lie. See,
no, like we have, and my education was very expensive. I'm still financing my degree. That's a whole other topic. But understanding the body is most importantly. Just because I'm a PharmD, it's not like I'm pushing drugs on a patient. It's understanding the need for that medication. And I, through OvaryIt Foundation, I'm able to advocate for my patients and make sure that they understand. If you understand what's going on in your body naturally, then you understand why you're taking medication and what that medication is supposed to be doing, is supposed to be replacing, what receptors or what that medication is supposed to target. And so when it comes down to it, a lot of people have the misconception that emergency contraception is an abortion pill. And that is not the case, because there is no embryo or there's no fetus that you're actually aborting. You are preventing fertilization. So it kind of
Can you say that one more time? Can you yeah, say that one more time, because you turn the news on and all you hear about is an abortion pill. So that's very important to make sure people understand.
I'm going to be very clear. It is not an abortion pill. There's nothing to abort. You are preventing fertilization. If fertilization does not happen, conception doesn't happen. So Mary has a great episode that she had through OvaryIt, that she was explaining that basic science. And I think that a lot of us are missing that core basic science of what body parts are what, believe it or not, and what is happening. And so just knowing and understanding what's happening in a woman's menstrual cycle and the surge of hormones and everything, and what's happening and why it's happening, it's so vital and it's so important. and understanding that there are different emergency contraception options, but it's emergency contraception. It is preventing fertilization from happening. I can't make that any more clear. It is preventing fertilization from happening. It is not the abortion pill. It is not an abortion pill. And doing research, I like to make sure that whatever information I'm providing to my patients, it is backed up with so much knowledge and so much medical and evidence-based medicine, because that's what we learn, evidence-based medicine. So I was doing some research on emergency contraception, and the misinformation that is out there is beyond ridiculous. Like, we need to do better. We need to do better, and we just need to if we understand, and us as patients, as Americans, we are the patients, and just being able to even be of the mindset, but why, or how does that work that way? That's how my mind works. So I like to teach my patients to think the same way, because that builds a sense of autonomy. And if a patient, that's the most empowered patient right there. If you teach a patient to be able to ask questions, and it's not just because, well, they just told me to take this, but are you understanding why you need to take this? If you understand the importance of the medication, regardless whether it's contraception, blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, if you know why you're taking it, it's not going to be compliance is not going to be an issue. Adherence is not going to be an issue.
And I will add.
Woo! Talk that talk, Lissette. Talk that talk, Lissette.
I mean, Sam, I can go on forever. I'm a talker.
No. That's what we need to hear. Go ahead and add to it, Mary. Go ahead and add some spice to the sauce. Go ahead.
So it's so much not an abortion pill that if you're already pregnant and you try to take it, it will do nothing. Now, we're not advocating that you ever try to do that. It's still not healthy, and it can cause stomach upset. But
and nausea. But
it cannot do it. It's supposed to delay ovulation. That way, that egg cannot be fertilized. So that delay is what's going to stop or prevent that unintended pregnancy, which is also why every doctor, every pharmacist says, take it as soon as possible after the incident has occurred. And that's what helps stop that ovulation from occurring. So take it as fast as possible. It's not an abortion. You have nothing to worry about, and it's extremely, extremely safe, which is why some states sell them in vending machines. Like, you can go get a can of Coke and your Plan B in a vending machine at the same stop. Like, it's so safe.
Well, and I think that, it's once again, it's I think that, you said something, right? It's that you have the people that are making these decisions, a lot of them that are promoting these theories online, who have no idea, so tying it into like this whole, what's connecting us, right, is the technology, and how we're going to talk about it in a few minutes, about this great integration with Stellar, NFTs, Blue Marble, and a good cause. We see that all the time within our field, that you have people who are making decisions about cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, stable coins, that don't even understand how the banking system works, right? They don't even understand how the banking system works. That's how we got into financial mess we're in right now. That's a whole nother podcast of how people don't understand how the things kind of go. But, we say the same exact thing too. And I guess for all the crypto bros and ladies that are listening, the frustration that you feel with regulators that don't understand how the financial system works. If you are of an opinion of this topic that we're describing here, do your research. Do what you want the regulators in the crypto space to do. Do it for this particular issue and learn, because I am learning a lot right now. Gosh, this is some really tough information. So, Mary, I know that you have a tech background, which I thought was really intriguing. Tell us a little bit about that, and then let's talk about this really cool. Let me see if I can pull it up here. This is the Blue Marble website, and a future NFT job. Help to raise, trying to make $22,500. I'm going to say everybody watching, every crypto person that's so worried about their crypto wallets, you know what? If it's going down, just go ahead and cash out and go buy an NFT. It's going to have a lot more value for a lot more people by doing it this way than just looking and complaining about your Bitcoin price going down. Let's do something good with your Bitcoins and your XLM. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about this fundraise here, and like I said, I'm curious to know, even from your tech background, your whole entire experience of working with Stellar and this whole platform.
Yeah, so I am a tech geek. So my background, my formal education background, is biochemistry. So I always worked with the labs, the lab directors, and I ended up finding my way into IT, like so many people across the globe. And I am a certified project management professional. So I have my PMP. I'm a technical PMP, and I generally focus on healthcare as well as medical, USDA, FDA type of regulations, and HIPAA type of regulations within softwares and application. So when blockchain technology came out, I remember I was infatuated. The whole idea of decentralization and having so much transparency behind it. Sam, I know you and I kind of, or I should say,
We
I went on a
did.
tantrum yesterday about everything.
Yeah. No, but it was good though. I liked it.
So as soon as I learned of Stellar, it became so obvious to me, right? Because where I felt that a lot of other blockchains were focused on trying to fit into banking and regulation as far, well, Ripple, right? Like you look and they were made for banks to try to do massive amounts of transactions. And you look at Stellar and they were, I hate to say for the people, but they really were. They were more focused on getting access. And when you look at the OvaryIt mission, it is to get people access. So when I'm starting to look at what blockchain technology do we want to use for our own NFT collections, it was so easy because low transaction fees, little to no transaction fees, realistically, let's face it.
Yeah.
On top of that, the access, on top of it, it is proven. It's a fantastic technology that is completely, to me, one of the best out there. Some of the other ones have definitely gone down, not in value, but I mean like stop all production type of gone down. We can see that there's vulnerabilities that exist with
Whoa! Ooh, hey. Okay. Whoa, man. I didn't expect that one. But you're right, though. I mean, it's like, gosh, yeah.
Stellar was the
Y'all,
only thing that made sense.
it
That's
made
what made sense
sense.
for us. Yeah, that's the only thing that made sense for us for OvaryIt.
Yeah, I know. That's great to hear. We didn't rehearse that at all.
You
No,
can
but
tell,
it's
shots fired.
yeah. I mean, I was like, whoa, wow. But whoa, okay, all right. But you're right though. I mean, that's shout out to everybody at Stellar. I mean, I often get asked all the time, like, why are you so involved and blah blah blah. And I'm like, because I really do believe in the tech. I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand, and opportunities like what OvaryIt is bringing. And leveraging technology, I think it's only the beginning. I know, Mary, you and I were talking of where this can actually go one day, and I think we're gonna go there. Let me go back to this website. So this is Blue Marble. So how did you guys get connected with Blue Marble again?
You already know. That would be Dixie.
Dixie.
Dixie. If people don't know Dixie,
They're
just
gonna want to
assume
know
you should.
Dixie.
You need to know her. She is the most amazing human. Of just, I like what you're doing. I want to help. How do I help you? Let's get introductions in place. So Dixie introduced us over to Blue
Hey, Dixie
Marble,
gonna find you. She gonna track you down. She gonna call you. She gonna text you. She gonna tweet. She gonna tweet at you. Shout out to Dixie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, again, with Blue Marble and them built on top of Stellar, they use Stellar to do all of this. It was, again, another no brainer looking at their mission. They want to help nonprofits be able to essentially fundraise through their portals. So it was one of those things where they make it as easy as possible for donors, right? That's the big thing when you're looking at nonprofit donation. If you add one extra step that's difficult, people are like, all right, fine, I won't give you my money, right? Which we're dependent on at all times to try to help all of the people that we serve. So Blue Marble figured out how to do that. They figured out the integration with Stripe. They're able to take credit card payments. You're able to pay in a variety of ways to make it as easy as possible. And we wanted to be able to, again, create access, because that is the entire point.
I'm gonna pull this back up. Shout out to Sir Cheesley. I'm a fan of Sir Cheesley's work. I own several of his pieces. And to be honest with you, Sir Cheesley, if you're listening to this style that you do right here is, I mean, it's got this vintage feel to it. The ones that I have are actually, they were vintage Disney ones, like themed ones that he did. But this is great, and I love the story behind it. That these are kind of, they reflect the hidden faces of the thousands, millions of women, not just here in the States, across the globe, that are victims of abuse. Tell us a little bit about where the money goes. And I want to point out right now, I'm seeing 12 of these that are available. Unacceptable. Let's get all these sold right now. All these people in crypto talking about money all the damn time. Let's see what you have. Let's make this happen. I'm sorry. I went on. Yeah, put your money where your mouth is. Put that money up. I'm tired of. Put your money up. I don't want to hear nothing about blockchain, about technology, about crypto, about all your dreams and aspirations if I don't see you spending some money on this campaign. So I kind of went on a tyrant there. Let me get back to the show. Tell us a little bit about where all this goes.
100% is going directly to assist the shelters, as well as obviously the individuals at those shelters and organizations. So like I said, because we partner with all of these individuals, no one's forcing these individuals to try to get access or take a pregnancy test or do anything like that. We are simply providing the resources and letting people pick and choose if they are available and ready to have potentially their first trusted doctor's appointment. Some of these individuals have never really gotten health care before in their life. So 100%. Everybody here, Lissette, myself, we're all volunteers. So 100% goes to the care. My husband and I, my husband's amazing. This is where we spend our money. So we've been subsidizing the care for these individuals for the past year. Obviously, that gets expensive. And so when we got the 501c3, it finally became, okay, now we can ask other people for help. Let's go ahead and push this.
And look at this.
And
We've got
Sam,
here on this page. Go ahead.
I really quick, because we gave shout outs to Dixie, but I do want to give shout outs to Mary and Dr. Devin, like I call him, because what they're doing and what they have created, like, it's that I can sign my name to whatever they're doing, because they are just such passionate people and just an amazing team to be a part of, and just they put their money where their mouth is. They work for free. They give services for free. They are constantly trying to provide access to, victims of domestic violence, access to women who don't have access, to minority women. The whole reason why OvaryIt LLC side, before the nonprofit side started, was because of a personal experience that happened to Mary. And she asked herself, she said, if this is me as a woman, as a white woman, what is happening to women of color? And the fact that when you talk about society and everything that's going on and the white privilege, that's where I say, like, she's using her privilege for she's like, no, I'm going to use this privilege to make a change. Like, there's so much that is behind OvaryIt, and that's why I would sign my name to whatever Mary and Devin have, because they just care so much about people and wanting to make a change, and not just a change for one group of people, acknowledging that in our healthcare system and what history has shown us, that it's not typically on the side of minorities, especially minority women. And, you know, there, we can go on countless cases of Tuskegee, and just what's happened with, you know, Puerto Rican women, Indian women, so many different cases, not just one type of minority. But Mary and Devin are trying to provide access to just as many people as they can. And honestly, everything from our foundation, we keep zero of the money. It's 100% to provide access and really just trying to make change.
Wow.
Thank you, Lisa.
Wow.
I
Yes.
appreciate you.
Sign
She's such
me
a
up.
good friend.
Yeah, but it's awesome. It's you know, I'll share what me and Mary were talking about, is that especially in the nonprofit world, right? It's just like anything else, right? Just like in crypto or banks, any sort of business, you have a lot of organizations that are really there just for a money grab. And for everyone that's listening, right, this is where OvaryIt, Mary, is their mindset is. It's like, okay, she was like, Sam, wouldn't it be great if there was a way we can track every single dollar? Like, I want people to be able to give money and be able to see without a shadow of a doubt where that money was going. And so I'm going to take a pause, and every developer out there, hit me up. Let's make this happen, because once we get OvaryIt on board and they create the gold standard for showing transparency, oh, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's going to be fantastic. Let's go back here. So for those watching, there are different levels. So this one is 35 USD. Great to see everybody that has participated so far and put some money in. This is great. There's 75 left in the 35 USD bucket. Folks, it starts at $35. You spend more than that a week going to your favorite coffee shop. You can, you know, if you live in a legal state, don't go to the cannabis dispensary this week. Go ahead and donate that money. You like McDonald's, don't go to. I can tell you a million ways that you can raise $35 just by cutting back on a simple expense. There's the 250 silhouette, which is right now. There's been a couple of these that have sold. Man, I see Sir Cheesley on like multiple screens here. He's just going through the list. Shout out to Sir Cheesley. Shout out. Oh, look, I love the names too. You got Devin. We've got we got Devin. We got Renee. We got Sir Cheesley. So shout out to you guys for your contribution. And honestly, this $1,000 one, not only does it look really incredible, but like I said, it goes a long way. There's only 12 of these that are available. I'm gonna shout out the SDF. Love to see you go ahead, and the community would love for you to contribute to this cause. It will be well worth it. We don't want this will be a great cause that doesn't have any return on value, but to helping actual lives. So I mean,
Sam, I do want to add, you get a tax deduction receipt. You do get a tax deduction.
Not
I
tax
can use
advice.
that.
Better.
Nah, I can, listen, I was telling Mary I used to do nonprofits, and I would go to people. Look, I don't care. You cannot care about the little kids, but go ahead and get that tax reduction.
Exactly. Everybody cares about that tax deduction.
Hey, yeah.
So if anything, you get that receipt.
Hey, listen, we should all just give money so that way they can put Lissette on the road and just have her go from state to state to talk about OvaryIt and just talk about, all these issues, because you're absolutely dynamic. There's so much that, honestly, we could probably spend a lot more time on. I know that we've been here for a while. Is there anything else that we should add before we wrap up that we didn't miss? Is there anything that you guys want to add?
Mary,
I would
why don't you
love
go ahead and kind of add like what you see the future for the foundation and like what we
Let's
would
talk
like
about
to
that.
do when we have, you know, the more funds that we get, the more that we can do.
Yes, yes.
absolutely,
Tell them where their money's going
absolutely.
to be going, Mary.
So obviously to directly help those individuals, but also we are creating an online learning management system platform that is providing medically accurate sex education for all ages. So, uh, you know, regardless if you are of the belief that sex ed should be taught in school or not, we know that a lot of this education is missing in many people's lives, and that is why a lot of, you know, we have a higher rate of STDs in this or STIs in this nation, and we have, you know, unplanned pregnancies. At nearly 49% of all pregnancies in the United States are unintended, apart from the horrific situations that also occur. But we're creating this amazing online learning management and online learning platform where anybody, it is completely free to go online and get your education, and it's medically accurate. These are pharmacists, doctors, as well as public health officials that are creating this content, and they're creating this right now in the background. And we're going to be hiring teachers to go ahead and deliver this message online to and any individual who really thinks they would benefit from it. So that's what's coming down the pipe, as well as a lot more research studies. And I don't think people really understand how scientific research works, but it's difficult in that you're doing a lot of work for free to prove a point, and then you have to pay thousands of dollars to get it into a medical journal. And that just makes it medically
That much
valid
harder.
and accurate to other individuals that can then agree or disagree and create a forum. But we're doing all of these things in the background to get conversations started and to get health in America on a better track. So, you know,
To
this would
normalize the
fiscally
normal, Mary.
to
Yeah,
normalize the normal. It will
the
have
normal.
fiscal benefits for the country. It will have better conversations with doctors and providers to allow for better health outcomes for all of our futures. So that's really what we're pushing for in the future: free education.
Wow,
And an
wow.
educated patient is literally key for our healthcare. And understanding, again, just like anything, if you understand the process, then you're able to understand why things are happening or question why things are happening. The research, even as far as the research, that's how we build guidelines for any disease state. And doctors practice evidence-based medicine because that's what is studied. So how do you conduct a study? It takes a lot of money. Everything, unfortunately, everything takes a lot of money because that's just where we are. Healthcare in America is a business. And so we would like to change that. If you empower the patient and make the patient question different things, it doesn't matter the disease state. Now you have a patient that's asking questions and wanting to understand what is going on with them. So hoping to normalize the normal, talk about women's health, talk about just things that we should naturally be talking about because they're happening to us. I can go on and on.
No, 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 and I can listen, and I do hope that a lot of people listen to this because there's a lot to learn. I think that first of all, really want to say thank you for all the work that you two are doing, and I'm sure there's others out there that are part of the community that you guys have built. It's very educational. I mean, we didn't even get to really, touch on human trafficking because I know that that's another major. I was telling Mary, I worked with the Guardian ad litem for many years, and I remember like maybe gosh 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they really started to bring in a lot of the training on human trafficking, and I was sharing that I think I couldn't bring myself to believe that this was happening in our day and
In
age.
America.
Like this, yeah, in America, it wasn't some third world country that this was happening on a large scale. And so I really hope that, going forward, as we make these decisions that impact so many lives, when we start to tell women what they can and cannot do, that we educate ourselves on exactly what's going on, what the statistics are. Because once again, these statistics, are very alarming. Pull it back up again. One of these, I was just completely shocked. 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner, and 94% of the victims of these murder-suicides are female. 45% of female rape victims were raped by an intimate partner. So there is, warfare going on, and there's no hyperbole to the women in this country. And you know what? Damn it, we have to do something about it. We have to support. We have to listen to experts, such as yourselves, that are out here fighting and trying to raise awareness. So once again, everybody, please visit the Blue Marble. It's really easy. Get there to bluemarble.io. You can scroll right here on the first page. You know what? Let's obliterate this 22,500 that they're asking for. And then hammer them, go and hammer them like Dixie hammers all of us to figure out how we can continue to bring money and support and exposure to what you all are doing. Mary, Lissette, thank you so much. It was an incredible afternoon. I'm so glad I got to speak with both of you. I hope that this is not the first time, or the last time I should say, that we connect. We continue this relationship and continue the support. Shout out to the stellar women out there, Dixie, for all that you're doing as well. Let's make sure we retweet this, we forward this, tell your mama, your auntie. I know my mama's watching. She's real happy right now. She's like, go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. You're doing some good with your platform. So, shout out to everybody out there. Everybody, next week, we'll be back. It's going to be with Moby, who has a really interesting platform that's leveraging the Stellar platform, and is used right now in major stores and outlets. So this is going to be a really great show, a really great opportunity. Yes, I'm excited for this one as well. So a lot of great things going on in Stellar. Once again, it's a real platform, as Mary said. Well, everybody, even though the price may go down, the network doesn't. No, it does not. Mm-hmm. So you guys, hang on. So, you guys hang on for a couple of seconds. To everybody else, I'll see you very soon. Ciao.